I hope you're doing well. Sorry for the echo in here. It's a little bit worse on this side of the room, but there's not much I can do because my studio stuff is kind of everywhere. So I hope that it's not too terrible, and I promise one day I'll get a proper mic. Anyways, so let's get started. We're going to be working on our side body and our waist today. So see you on the mat. We are just going to start seated on our mat. We're going to have our hands back behind us. I've got my fingers pointed back behind me. If you prefer having a little bit of wider arms and fingers pointed out diagonally, do what feels best for your shoulders. I've got a lot of mobility in mind, so depending on what feels good for you, do that. And then we're just going to start with some knee sways. So we're just going to sway those knees over to one side, letting the hip pick up, and then over to the other side. I was like inhaling for one, and exhaling for the other. Just kind of waking up our hips, waking up our waist. Depending on how quick you wanted to do this, you could always inhale for 2, and exhale for 2. Again, the bit more rhythm and a bit more flow ends up getting the circulation going a little bit faster. But again, it can also create some sloppy movement. So find something that feels right for you. Find a rhythm that feels good. And then we're going to come back on into center. We're going to lay down on one side. Your choice, you can either have elbow down underneath your shoulder here, or you can have hand underneath your head, or you can lay your head down on your bicep. Find a place that feels comfortable to you. I am going to go hand or elbow underneath my shoulder. This would be probably the more difficult out of all the options. Legs are going to be slightly in front of you, but make sure that's a bend at the waist, not kind of a hunch through the lower back. Feeling nice and tall, and then we're going to do our side lying legs series. So we're going to start with that leg up in parallel, and then we're going to kick the leg forward and all the way back. I was like inhaling to the back, and then exhaling to the front. If you wanted to add into this, you can curl through your spine as you curl the leg forward, and then extend through your spine as you send the leg back. Make sure those hips, those glutes are working nice and strong. Your waist stays nice and strong. You're nice and lifted through the underside. I'm going to do one last one to the front, all the way to the back. Then we're going to bring the leg over top the other leg. Externally rotate it, which means toes are more pointed up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift and lower. If you're up on your elbow like me, make sure that as you lift the leg, you're not dropping your ribs down. This may also be a smaller movement when you're up on your elbow than when you're down on the floor. So find a place that feels good for you and for your practice. If your hips are starting to feel a little tired, you can always bend the knee and do them as knee lifts. We're going to do one last one, and then coming back on down, and we're going to do a développé. So we're going to keep that leg externally rotated, draw the toe up the inside of the leg, knee towards the shoulder, straighten the leg up towards the ceiling, squeeze back down. And as you're straightening the leg up, again, make sure you don't sag in your rib cage. You stay nice and lifted. Awesome. We're going to do one last one in this direction, and then we're going to reverse for 4. Lifting, bending, drawing that toe down the inside of your leg. Finishing this last one and coming all the way back on in. So then we're going to do our rondejons, or basically big ass circles. So we're going to kick that leg forward, lift it all the way up, circling the leg all the way to the back, and coming back in. Again, if you're down on the floor, those circles may look bigger than what I am up on my elbow. And that's awesome. We're going to finish this last one, and then we're going to do our 3 in reverse. Send that leg back, lifting and circling forward. Again, try to keep that waist nice and lifted. Glutes are burning. Once you've done your 3rd one, we're going to lie ourselves down, still on this side. So if you're already down here, awesome. That bottom hand palm's going to be facing up, so if you hand it down, make sure to flip it. top hand is pressing down into the mat, legs are squeezed together, whether they're pointed or flexed is up to you, but active feet. And then we're going to basically do a side sit-up. We're going to press into our hand to help us balance, squeeze everything up, squeeze everything back down. Lifting and lowering. So really cinching that side of your waist. Awesome, we're going to do one last one. And then coming all the way back down, and then we're going to either roll over or flip over onto our other side. I'm just going to flip around to the other side so that I can still be facing you guys. And then again, whatever you did on one side, try to mimic it on the other. So if you were on your elbow, try to be on your elbow again. Obviously, if you have some shoulder issues or something like that, pick something that feels better for you and for your body. Okay, top leg up at hip height. And then we start with kicking forward, inhaling back. Awesome. Keeping that waist nice and strong. Notice what it feels like on this side in comparison to the first side. Oftentimes I find that I pick my favorite side first. So then when I come to the second side, it's like, oh, this is hard work. Not that it wasn't hard before, but in comparison, like, whew, always have a favorite side. We're going to do one last one, kicking forward, inhale into the back, bring the leg over top the other leg, externally rotate, the toes are more pointed up towards the ceiling, pressing through your shoulder, lifting through your waist, lifting that leg, lowering it back down. As you're lifting the leg, make sure you're not dropping the waist. Awesome, last one. And then deadlift face for both directions. Draw the toe up the inside of the leg, knee towards shoulder, straighten the leg up, squeeze it back down. Fantastic job, guys. Last one in this direction if you're on the same pace as me. And then reversing, lifting the leg up, bending in, sliding that leg down, staying nice and lifted through that waist. Working the side body is always one of those things that I love to do and also hate to do because it's definitely one of my weakest. So finishing that fourth one, we're going to do those rond de jambes, or as I said, those big ass circles. We're going to kick that leg forward, lifting it up nice and tall, setting it all the way to the back, through both directions. Try to keep that waist nice and tight. Once you've done your third one in one direction, reverse. Whew. Happy thoughts for those negative moments. Finishing that third one, lay yourself all the way down, top hand pressing into the mat, bottom hand palm facing up. Squeeze those legs together, squeeze your head into your arm and your arm into your head. We're inhaling to lift, and we're exhaling to lower. And the last one here. And coming all the way back on down. Okay, so we're going to come on up. We're going to be kneeling in the middle of our mat. If you thought we were done with side kick series, oh no. Oh no. We still got more. So this time we are going to have our hand down on the floor. If you don't like having your hand down flat on the floor for your wrist, you can always bring a fist down, or you can get either like a pillow, a ball, or something like that. Put it underneath the heel of your hand so you have a little bit more of a smoother angle rather than a nice sharp corner. So shoulder blades sliding back. We're going to side bend over to our first side. So you know we get a break. Knee underneath hip, hand underneath or shoulder over top of your wrist-ish. We're going to have your top hand either on that hip or waist, or if you'd like, you can have it behind your head. We're going to take that top leg up, and then again, we're going to kick it forward and kick it back. We're only going to do 4 of each one, so we're going to be short and sweet. Last one here, coming all the way on in. Come back to the center. You're going to internally rotate the leg this time, so heel is more pointed up towards the ceiling. Flex the foot, little heel lifts. Happy thoughts, glutes are burning, waist is nice and tight. Finish that one there. We're gonna do 4 little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 in the reverse. Awesome, and then we're just gonna side bend ourselves all the way back and up. Same thing on the other side. So side bending over, hand or fist comes down onto the floor, opposite leg is extended, and then from here, inhaling forward. Sorry, inhaling backwards, exhaling forward. And then we're doing that 4th one, come all the way on in. Internally rotate the leg, heel facing the ceiling. Lift, 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 lift. Awesome. Point through the toe, foot back parallel, 4 circles one way, and 4 circles the other way. There we go. Couldn't count to 4 for a second there. I was like 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. So, next up we are going to do our mermaid. So mermaid for us is typically a side bend that comes from a side plank. We're going to start kneeling on one knee, extending the opposite leg, and then we're going to maybe go standing if that feels right for you. So, what that's going to look like is we're going to extend that first leg that we had out. Opposite hand is reaching, or fist if you prefer. The other hand is going to come up towards your ear. So it's like we're going to side bend all the way over, reach through that hand, reach through that foot, and enjoy it. And then we're going to reach through that hand up towards the ceiling, side sit up, back on up. Arm comes up by your head, side sit up, down. And then all the way back on up. And this is our mermaid kneeling today. Again, gets you really working that side of your waist. The last one like this. Now you can either stay here, or if you'd like, really press into that foot. We're going to lift the knee up. You can either stay here, or you can bring that foot nice and long. If you want to add in, lower, lift. If you're staying with the knee, lower, lift. Same thing. It's basically a huge waist trainer. We're going to do that last one. Come back on up, face the knee down, bring yourself all the way back on up, and then we get to do the same thing on the other side. So fantastic job, guys. I know these are hard. So first up, leg extended, arm out, other arm up, we side bend over, and then we lift back up. If you need a little extra hand, reach through the arm to lift yourself back up. You do not have to keep it by your ear. Awesome. We're going to do this last one. We're going to stay down. So you're reaching through that hand, having that big side bend. It feels delightful. Then up to you. You can either lift the knee, lower the knee. You could lift the knee, squeeze, lower the knee. Or step that foot out, big mermaid. Add in, lower, and lift. If the lower lift is too much, you can always hold. We're going to do this last one. Knee comes down, and lift all the way back on up. Fantastic job, guys. We're going to do one last move and then just a little baby cool down. What we're going to do is twist 2. Options, you can either go for that side plank with your hand down or your elbow down, or you can go knee down or feet down. So totally up to you. So with your hand down and with your foot down, it's going to look like this. And we're going to twist. If you want your knee down, same thing, twist. And if you want your elbow down, you can have your knee, it's just going to be a little more extended, or you can be here. Same thing. So find something that feels good for you. I'm going to have my feet down and my hand down. So reaching through that hand, reaching through those feet, lifting yourself up. We're going to twist to look underneath the armpit and come back on up. See what's on the other side of you. Haven't looked to that side of the room for a while. Coming all the way back on up. Your knee can come down, We can switch to the other side. We're gonna do those 4 twists on the other side, and that is cool down time. So, hand comes down, foot comes down, feel nice and long, nice and strong here. Press into those feet, or those knees, or those elbows. And then when you're ready, twist and lift. And twist and lift. We're gonna do 2 more. A little more wobbly on this side. And then when you're ready, knee comes down, lift yourself back on up. We're gonna turn, so then we're a long ways on our mat. And then we're just gonna do a bit of a child's pose with a side bend. So we're gonna come down onto hands and knees. We're gonna walk our hands out to one side of our mat. We're gonna sit ourselves back into that opposite hip. So we get this nice big stretch to our side body. And just breathing deep here. Training the side of your body is a fantastic way to balance all of the fun forward, backwards things that we get to do in our regular day. Most activities that we do, we're usually doing something very forward facing, which I know sounds obvious, but even if you play sports like soccer, that's very forward facing. You kind of run forward, you run backwards. It's not tons and tons of sideways work. Cooking is like that too. It's lots of things are very forwards or we'll back up. So we don't really get tons and tons of lateral work. So it's a great way to round out your day and your life. Not to mention your core, because I know it's so easy to think about those 6-pack abs and totally forget about the sides of your waist. So really, really make sure that you're getting in a nice, full, well-rounded workout. And I hope to see you in my next video. I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate all your patience and support. And I will see you all very, very soon. I will be making videos all year, so long as I keep getting lots of time. Everything's gonna be a little crazy. If you don't know what's going on, make sure to take a look at my catch-up video, and I will link it down below. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!